Admin team, senior admin team. Hi, Adam Mayer here. Thanks for taking time to listen to this short introduction, and thanks for having me Wednesday morning at your senior admin team meeting. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. So I thought I'd introduce you to this idea I've been thinking about, and Meredith has helped me out with, and it's centered about this idea of a critical friends group, and I'll get a little bit into that in a little bit. But how can we find ways to connect goals, our growth, and people? And I think this is a great way we can achieve those things. So here we go. A critical friends group is a team of educators who are intentional, a smaller team, intentional about talking about what we do. This notes that it's voluntary. People can choose to be part of these guys, and that's something that I'll ask you to consider. Might we require this? And I'll get more into that in a little bit. Here's a little snippet that I really like about these critical friend groups, and I think a lot about how can we as a school continue to evolve and as individuals continue to evolve and hone our craft, our noble craft. So what's that going to look like? And I'm convinced that there has to be some sort of internal structural ways that people can kind of hash out those ideas. Like Mark Milliron said, you need time and space to work through some of these ideas. And so these critical friend groups certainly are sustained professional development based on a spirit of inquiry, and I would say a spirit of collaboration and a spirit of intentionality. How about that word? So there are certainly more formalized ways that critical friend groups operate and what they do, but in a very basic way, critical friends groups help each other grow, right, intentionally. There's a particular leader, a coach for each critical friends group, and that coach is trained to lead the conversation and really coach people up, literally. 8 to 12 is a good size right here, and that's that. Okay. Here's another interesting idea here. Remember Rob Evans? He came to talk with us 2 or 3 years ago. I can't remember now. But this is in his article in Independent School Magazine. It's called Getting to Know. Very interesting article. About congeniality versus collegiality, and his claims that people are very friendly with one another at independent schools, and I think he agrees with that. But what he doesn't agree with is that people intentionally collaborate well with one another, and so he goes through different ways that we can do that. And here is his endorsement for Critical Friends Group. At the end it says, although critical friend groups are not for every school, that's for sure, they are, in my view, the gold standard among professional learning community models and an ideal way to promote a climate of shared growth. Right, so here's a Rob Evans endorsement. If you want to read more, you can check this Getting to Know from Independent School Magazine out. Interesting article. But getting back to the kind of how these fit into the grand scheme of things, I think that the way in which we create and then follow through and work towards our folio goals could be a lot better. And so I think this model that Meredith and I are proposing would make that better. And here's the idea, right? Let's begin with a goal-setting process, not in August in a rushed way, but let's start with a goal-setting process for next year soon. How about those end-of-the-year summary conversations, right? What a great opportunity for supervisors to coach up our great teachers, great coaches, great staff members, and say, hey, what goal might you be thinking about for next year? Great idea, I think. That was Meredith's idea. If we get out all goals early, that would be great, because then we could group people. And those groupings in critical friend groups would be centered about shared goals. So let's say, for example, that there are 10 people in the lower, middle, and upper school total, 10 people total who are looking at project-based learning, right? And maybe they have a similar goal of, hey, I want to create one unit or one lesson that incorporates project-based learning, right? So that said, you put all those people together, right? Maybe a couple from the lower school, maybe 5 or 6 from the middle school, maybe 4 or 5 from the upper school. Put those people together and call it a critical friend group, right? Furthermore, hopefully, I think we'll have one volunteer leader, a coach from each of those critical friend group. So it's a great leadership opportunity. That coach will be trained, hopefully by Meredith. She's great resource with her folio and her fierce training. So then I think this is really important, right? Mark Milliron talked about time and space, right? What we found with the partnership project, which I absolutely love, though we ran out of steam a couple months ago, is that people want to connect with each other. People want to talk about what we do intentionally, particularly cross-divisional. The challenge was we didn't really have a goal. We didn't really have good leadership on my part. And what was even more of a challenge was asking people to take time out of their already busy schedules to commit to something else. And so it's got to be time during professional days. 1 or 2 hours during each of the 3 professional days would be awesome. And then can we find more time between those particular 3 meetings for critical friends groups to get together? Okay. What I hope is that people will, in between those meetings, kind of be working together in one way or another. But I think we at least have to carve out some time to make those larger critical friend groups meeting times possible. Right. So here's what might come out of this if we do it well. Right. I think McDonough right now has a great growth culture. Talking with people from other schools. That's probably because our admin, you guys say yes to most things, and without the word yes, innovation can't happen. People don't feel empowered to grow and take risks. So I think our culture is ripe for kind of trying something like this, and I think doing something like this, establishing critical friend groups in which everyone participates, that's my vision, I think will only further that culture, and I think we'll get a lot out of it, right? And the bottom line is, hopefully, we'll help kids, right? When we get better, when we get energized, we get excited about what we're doing, when we're observing one another, and getting great ideas from one another, and we don't have to take extra time to do so. That just is awesome for our kids, right? And our kids already have an awesome experience, but let's make it awesomer. So look forward to talking with you Wednesday. Really excited to hear your thoughts, feedback. I know this is a quick glaze over, but we can put more teeth into it Wednesday and after we move forward, if you want to move forward with it. So thanks for listening. Appreciate it. See you Wednesday. Bye-bye.